I do apologize up front. I'm pretty angry as I sit here after listening to that non-specific information you were just handed. If you were the board of directors or corporation, you accept anything that was said here today to make a decision on the profits of your stockholders, they run you out of town. You didn't hear anything specific.
But we're not
So-
the board, so if you...
No, but you said this is...
Are these your remarks, sir?
Yes.
You're on time.
Well, I'm going to exceed 3 minutes.
No, you're not. No, you will not run this committee.
No.
So we'll start you at 2 minutes, but don't come to me. I don't care how angry you are. There's a protocol.
This is a moral outrage, what's happening here.
You can be outraged all you want.
No, it's a moral outrage.
In your 2 minutes. Identify yourself, sir.
My name is Jim Glasgow. I'm the state's attorney of Will County, and a quarter of the people that come to Tinley Park come from my county. And the things that this lady just mentioned about the spin-off and ripple costs are real. And you didn't hear a word about those. Those dwarf the operational costs of the Tinley Park Mental Health Center. I've got a saying on the wall of my office, quoted by John F. Kennedy, that the hottest places in hell are reserved for those who in a time of moral crisis choose to steer the neutral course. We are in a moral crisis of the highest order with the attempted closing of this facility of last resort. It is absolutely essential to the safety of every man, woman, and child in Will County and Southern Cook County. You cannot close it based on what I just heard today. There's no plan. This RFI is ridiculous, farcical, and ill-conceived. You haven't heard anything. The 207 employees or 158 or whatever it is, these people behind me know how many there are. These are human beings that are going to be thrown on the unemployment line. There are unemployment costs. There are potential foreclosures, divorces, there are dependents of these people. These are remedial costs that are going to come into the system. I apologize. I heard a figure of 690 admissions at Tinley Park in the first quarter of this year. If that's the case, we're going to go to about 2,800 for the year. That's up from 1,500 just 4 years ago. That's almost a doubling of the population. These projections, when Representative Kozel asked about the payment track, you talk about dealing with private entities that are going to accept payments 6 months down the line. There's nothing in concrete. I can't imagine that these so-called stakeholders are going to be running to run in the red for 6 months. It's not going to happen. There are tremendous remedial costs. One of the things I heard is that these people aren't dangerous. That's not the case. These people have to be found to be either dangerous to themselves or dangerous to others or unable to care for themselves. These are the people who have mental illnesses depend upon us who have been blessed by God to have our faculties. To do anything less, again, is an outrage. And I'm begging you, please, this commission has already decided that we can't close Tinley Park until you have a viable alternative, which you heard here today is the most unviable alternative. If I ran my office based on that kind of information, it would collapse. So please, at the very least, I understand an alternative, but when you were asking what is the land worth, and they 5 years, 7 years after trying to close it, they can't tell you what the land's worth? That's a joke. Please, reconsider, keep the facility open until sane minds can decide what the alternative is. You previously found that, get another facility in place that'll save a lot of the jobs of these individuals and limit the human suffering, both for the patients and for the employees. Thank you.
Good afternoon. Assistant State's Attorney Sandy Stavropoulos from the Cook County State's Attorney's Office